Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new soul path reading. I am in the middle of the March reading specials. Lucky in Love and Lucky in Life. Two are available. I think the Lucky in Love is sold out, but I will be adding additional slots towards the end of the week if you are interested in booking a personal reading with me. So I thought that we would just kind of take a little bit of a break and tune in and see what do we need to know with regards to our journeys. These soul path readings are general readings for our ascension journey. So those who are on the ascension path, whether this be with a sacred partner or with, yourself. This is for you, so take it as it resonates for you in your journey. If it does not resonate for you, do not force anything to fit. Allow yourself just to take in what speaks true to you and disregard anything that doesn't. Don't make it fit. That's for any reading, from any reader. Don't force anything that doesn't feel true or resonate with you. All right, so let's see what is coming in. We have milestone. Oh boy. We have decrease, and we have fear. I feel almost like it's this. There's like this energy of overcoming coming through here. Like you've reached a significant milestone in your journey where you are overcoming scarcity mindset and fear mindset, lack mindset and fear mindset. There's this overcoming energy that's coming through here. Where you might have had certain fears, maybe fears about your journey itself, maybe fears about taking a certain step forward in life, whether this is moving or career or a job or a relationship, whatever this is, anywhere where you felt like you were lacking in life that led to that fear. Maybe you didn't feel worthy, so you didn't allow yourself to step forward. Maybe you didn't feel like you were deserving, so you allowed yourself to keep yourself small. Whatever this is, whatever that fear is, it's going to resonate with everybody differently. It does feel like there's this overcoming energy here. Let's get some more and see. Yeah, you know what it is? It's because you're really trusting your higher self. You're letting go of past versions of yourself. And it's like you're walking through a new door, allowing yourself to walk through a new door. And it's almost like even though there might be the past versions of yourself that are kind of, you might be loyal to, that might be pulling you in certain directions, it's like you're recognizing. What I'm actually seeing is her just being like these dogs that are pulling at the leash, right? These leashes are essentially cords to past versions of yourself, past timelines for yourself, past beliefs that you might have held about yourself or about life or about whatever this is. And it's like these dogs are kind of pulling at the leash saying, no, go this way, go this way, go this way. And that's creating some resistance within you. That's the fear, that's the lack, that's the old beliefs, whatever belief that you held about yourself especially. And so what I'm actually seeing is she's just kind of scooping the dogs up and saying, you know what, I'm going to carry you with me. It's not that, when you cut the cord, you're not cutting the cord of the experience and the lessons and especially the love. When you're letting go of past versions of yourself, when you're letting go of past relationships, or if you're letting go of a past location or a past job, you carry with you all the experiences and all the learning and all the tools and all the resources and all the love that was experienced. But you're letting go of that timeline of consciousness, and that's a very specific phrase that they're bringing through, a timeline of consciousness, by which I mean that you're no longer tied, you're no longer that same person, you're no longer in that same consciousness, you are in a higher level of consciousness, you're in a higher level of thought, you're in a higher belief about yourself. And when I'm not talking about hierarchy here, I'm just talking about a different belief about yourself. You've shifted beliefs. You've shifted the way that you view things. You're in a different perspective now. And so because of that, life naturally makes changes within yourself. Nothing stays the same. Life doesn't stay the same. The only thing that stays the same is change. Is a very popular quote that they're bringing me. The only thing that stays the same is change. I think that's a song. And that's what they're bringing me. It's like now you're trusting your higher self. Now you've opened that heart chakra. You're expanding that heart chakra and you're learning to trust in your higher self versus maybe the lower level of consciousness, maybe the ego that you might have been really attached to. And this is part of your journey. This is why it's such a significant milestone. It's because you're overcoming past versions of yourself and you're walking through a new doorway. Now, understand this too. They're saying you don't know what you don't know. We've been hearing that phrase a lot. You don't know what you don't know. Lower consciousness and higher consciousness, it's not a hierarchy. You're not in competition with anybody else, and you're not in competition even with yourself. You're not in competition with that past version of yourself. Have forgiveness for yourself. Have grace for yourself. Have compassion and kindness for yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself for that past version of who you were and what it is that you experienced in that past version or that past timeline. You don't know what you don't know. You were operating from that system. They're showing me a computer network. And it's like, you know how you get upgrades on your phone or your computer and stuff like that? Okay, they're bringing me a specific scenario here. It's like, you know, on your phone, you get upgrades on your phone, and the upgrades are like new emojis. So you started out with one set of emojis when you had, like, let's say like an iPhone. Say you had like an iPhone 10 way back then, and it was a specific set of emojis. Maybe it was like 10 emojis, and it was just like a smiley face and a frowny face and a heart and whatever else it was. And then the more the operating system, the computer system gets upgraded, the more emojis are created, right? So now you have an extended set of emojis. Now you have different colored hearts, and now you have different smiley face expressions, and now you have different foods and sports and weather and all this stuff. It's expanded. That's like your consciousness. So you don't know what you don't know. You're operating within the realm of the 10 emojis. But as you expand in consciousness, you understand that there's a deeper level, there's a deeper layer, there's so much more. But you were only operating within those 10 emojis because that's what you knew. That's kind of like what spirituality is. Spirituality is a deeper and deeper level of understanding. And you can understand things from one context, from an intellectual context, from a religious context, from a systemic context, but the deeper that you go, the more your understanding expands to, okay, maybe it's not as narrow as I thought it was when it comes to like religion, for example. Maybe it's more broad and it's more spiritual. Maybe it's not as narrow as it was when it comes to, like, if it's relationships, for example. Maybe it's more of a collective thing. Maybe it's not as, systemically, like if we're talking education or something, or government, you're not just looking at the education system and the government, but all the parts of the whole. So your awareness, your perspective expands. Well, that's what this energy is. And so you're not holding on to that past version of yourself. You're not blaming or judging that past version of yourself. But you're saying, okay, this is where I was, and through these experiences that I've had the opportunity to learn, to grow, to understand myself better, to understand the world better, to understand the universe better, whatever this is, to understand. And so you're carrying, again, those experiences and those lessons with you, especially the love with you, and you're moving into a new door. The dogs are just the resistance. The dogs are like... I'm just saying the dogs because that's what's on the card. Dogs, we're not using that as a symbol because dogs are amazing. But whatever it was that you felt like was creating resistance and holding you back, it's like you are now just saying, you know what, I'm going to carry you with me. I'm going to have a lot of love and compassion for these experiences, for that past version of myself, and I know I'm carrying it with me, but that doesn't mean that I have to carry that mindset with me. I don't have to carry that belief with me. That's what I let go of. I let go of the belief. I let go of the perspective. I let go of the judgment, the mindset, that lower density energy. I let go of that. That's what I let go of. But that past version of myself, I can still have compassion for and release that past version of myself, knowing that I'm carrying forth all the lessons and the experiences. Because you are the sum of all of your parts. The sum of all of your parts. You don't neglect or reject parts of you. You understand, okay, this is what I went through, and now from that level of understanding, from the new level of understanding, I can walk through a new door. I can make new choices, new conscious choices. Again, you don't know what you don't know. Now, your awareness is your greatest tool. It is your greatest tool. Now that you're aware, you can have different behaviors, different actions, different habits, different patterns, different beliefs. Your awareness is your power tool. It is your greatest tool. And I feel like that's what this milestone is. I feel like you're really tuning into and trusting your higher self. And they're saying, no, turning into is actually correct, because what you're doing now is you're embodying your higher self, learning how to embody that. So it's like you're not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk. And that's what embodiment is all about. It's about how do you operate in everyday life. I've said this a couple times throughout these years, that it's very easy to sit in a room or sit in the woods somewhere and be at one with your spiritual self and your spiritual nature. It's much harder when you're out and operating in the world. But being out and operating in the world is exactly what you're meant to be doing as a human being, while honoring and embodying those higher consciousness principles and ideas and beliefs and understandings, that higher consciousness version of yourself. And so it's much more challenging when you're interacting with people, or it's much more challenging when you are operating within the world itself. But that's how you change the world, by changing yourself first, by embodying your higher self, by leading from that example, by choosing differently from a new level of awareness and a new perspective. And everybody's at different phases of their journey. Everybody's at different places. And so that's where it kind of gets a little bit difficult and challenging, and it feels really kind of mucked up, right? It feels really like there's so many different like angles and so many different perspectives and so many different truths. But you take what resonates for you, from your understanding, from where you are. And it's not to force understanding on anybody else. It is to honor where you are and the work that you've done and the growth that you've done, and you allow yourself to walk through a new door. And that new door can be physical changes, because your physical world is naturally going to change in congruency with the energetic changes that you're doing within yourself. But also, it's more so the internal changes. Your internal world changes, shifts, transforms, and your physical world follows suit. That's just the natural course of things. That's just the natural law of the universe. Energy changes, and as the energy shifts, then what's created with that energy in physical form shifts. And so I feel like you have really reached a massive milestone, a turning point here, where you are overcoming lower density ideas, beliefs, concepts, perspectives, understandings, that lower conscious self. And again, that's not a judgment on you. Be compassionate with yourself and kind with yourself for where you were, because where you were was actually a point of reference. So look back at a significant point, a significant turning point, and all it took prior to that. You can look at your life as like a timeline, and you have these like tick marks all along your timeline. And so if you look back at the previous turning point, well, there is a whole life before that like you didn't know what you didn't know until that point. And so now you're over here, and it's like, okay, now there's a turning point here, and I didn't know what I didn't know with this growth. You're constantly evolving, you're constantly growing, and I feel like this is a significant milestone for you to say, look at what I'm overcoming. I'm overcoming that sense of lack within me. I'm overcoming that sense of lack of worth within me, that lack of scarcity mindset, that whatever this is. Everybody is going to resonate with it a little bit different. But you're overcoming fear. You're overcoming your old version of self, because you're expanding, your heart is expanding, your understanding and awareness is expanding, and you're moving into new timelines. So this is really kind of amazing energy here. Let's get a little bit more. I don't want to end here. This feels big. This feels big here. Many of us have been going through a purge cycle recently, and have been going through a death and a rebirth. And life is about constant death and rebirth in the energetic form, where we are constantly releasing old versions of ourselves. That's what that timeline kind of is, the tick marks. It's like you are constantly, going through phases and changes and transformations within yourself. And that's what begets the physical changes in your physical world. So that's where you kind of allow it. And I'm also getting this energy of curiosity. Allow yourself to be curious about what comes next, about where the changes are going to lead you. Because as you shift into higher consciousness and begin embodying your higher self, your physical world is naturally going to reflect that. So if you were in a lower consciousness, which is victim mentality, which is fear-based energies, which is lack of forgiveness, lack energy, scarcity mindset, low self-worth, whatever that is. And again, there's no judgment. Be very kind to yourself. I feel like, especially those of you who are on this journey, you can be very hard on yourself because you feel like you need to be more than you are. You are beautiful. exactly as you are in this moment. Be very kind and compassionate to yourself. Again, you don't know what you don't know. Don't be hard on yourself, and don't be in competition with anybody else. Your journey is yours. Your journey is yours, and we have this beautiful coming together as a collective where we get to experience our journeys together. But your journey is sacred. Your journey is yours and yours alone to experience. And we experience it with other people beautifully, but your journey is still yours. So be kind and compassionate for yourself. Don't be competitive. Don't be judging. Don't be comparing. Your journey is yours. Remember that. So I feel like whatever that you were experiencing before, it's like now you're moving beyond that into a new version of yourself, and that physical form is really taking root. So if you were in lack or scarcity or whatever it was before, then your physical world might have reflected it. There might have been more challenges, more suffering, more pain, more of those experiences. Now, you do not ever deserve those things. That is a low vibrational mindset. That's like a low, conscious mindset. You don't ever deserve those things. Those things happen for the experience to show you more of yourself, to teach you, to show you yourself, to have you level up into a new level of embodiment, to have you see things from a new perspective. So keep getting out of that blaming and that victimhood and that projection and that whatever that is. Keep moving out of that, because experience just happens for the teaching, to show you yourself, to reflect back to you what it is that you need to know. And so what's happening is, as you move into higher consciousness where you're honoring yourself, you're respecting yourself, maybe you're having healthier boundaries, maybe you are just embodying more forgiveness and more love and more compassion, which includes having healthy boundaries and honoring yourself, where you're not abandoning yourself, where you're not betraying yourself, where you're not rejecting or neglecting yourself. When you move into those higher states of being and higher states of self-love, what's happening there is your world naturally reflects that too. So you might have better opportunities. Maybe you have new job opportunities, or new financial abundance, or you have healthier relationships or connections, or you're inviting in more soul family. Whatever it is, the level of consciousness that you're at creates your reality. Because again, what's inside, the energy creates the physical form. So I feel like this milestone energy is really an energetic shift, but I feel like you're going to start seeing the physical changes of that as well. So let's see, what we need to know right now. Ascending the mountain, keep going forward, and rejuvenating rain, clear the past, heal the present. This is exactly what we're talking about. You're going through this ascension journey, and ascension is the process of deeper and deeper understanding. You're going up the mountain, and like we always say, there's multiple paths up the mountain, infinite numbers of paths up the mountain. So allow yourself to be on your path. And your path is what's true for you. Trust what's true for you. And there are other people that we meet along our path, and that's the beautiful community that we form. That's a beautiful collective energy that we form. But your path is still true for you. So trust in that and honor that and respect that and feel into the heart of that. I'm also hearing the more that you embody that, the more you're going to feel that peace. Follow the peace. We did a collective channeling over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections a while ago that was follow your peace, follow the peace, something like that. And that's this energy. You will know by how it feels. If it feels like resistance, if it feels like fear, if it feels like pain, then there's a misalignment there. Follow the peace. Trust your intuition. And intuition is peace-filled. And then we have rejuvenating rain. Clear the past, heal the present. That's what's happening here. That's this letting go energy. You're healing the present by clearing the past, and you're clearing the past by healing the present. It's all one and the same. And so I feel like there's this energy that's coming in. That's part of the milestone energy, where you are clearing old beliefs. You are moving into a different level of perspective. You're seeing yourself differently. Maybe you're seeing life differently. Maybe you're seeing connections differently, but you're opening up, you're expanding. I'm just getting a huge crown chakra upgrade, and I'm getting like seeing with your third eye, seeing things differently. So with that, it's like you're allowing the past to heal. Like I said, you carry with you your past experiences. You carry with you the learnings and the teachings. You carry with you, the love. And sometimes your physical world might not change so drastically. Sometimes along this journey, we move on from connections and friendships and jobs and things like that. I've certainly experienced that significantly in my life, and along this whole life journey. But you carry with you the love, you carry with you the experiences. It doesn't mean that you have to even have those significant changes. Some of my closest friends are people who are not on the spiritual path, even as I've been going on the spiritual path, but our friendships have been evolving and getting deeper in different ways. So it doesn't mean that you have to lose friendships or lose connections as long as you were growing together and evolving together. You don't have to part ways from a job, for example, as long as you are evolving within the job. Maybe there's a promotion. Maybe there's a renegotiation of salary based on your worth and you recognizing your worth. Maybe you have more responsibility, or maybe you're just approaching it in a different mindset. Maybe you didn't like the job before. Maybe you didn't see the value of it, but maybe you're understanding now that the job allows you to network. It allows you to meet new people. It allows you to really just give you some new opportunities to travel or to, I don't know, a number of different things. But again, it's all about within, how you perceive it, how you view it, how you experience it. It's all within. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a new connection or a new job or a new opportunity or whatever. It's about how you perceive it. So that's what this feels like. It feels like you are leveling up and moving into a new energy, and that new energy is going to create new energy around you. And it doesn't necessarily mean, everything is new, but the experience is going to be new because your energy is new. Does that make sense? It could be that you're going back to a past relationship, but as long as you're approaching it from a new energy and a new perspective, that can change the whole dynamic. Say with your parents, if you had like a difficult relationship with your parents or somebody in your family, as you grow and as you expand, there's a capability there of having a different dynamic within that family unit or within that connection, within that relationship. Again, same thing with the job. If you had a difficult job before, if you had a certain view of that job before, having a different perspective or having a different mindset can create a different experience. It's all about the energy. The energy is the underlying factor here. So I feel like there's a lot of healing and growth that's happening. Again, there's a breakthrough that you're experiencing right now where you are really leveling up within your heart space. You're really leveling up within yourself and embodying this new level of things, and you're overcoming so much fear, and you're overcoming old beliefs and patterns and that you might have existed in before. You're walking through a new doorway here. And I feel like the spring equinox, fall if you're in the southern hemisphere, March, the end of March, is really significant for this. The equinox energy feels like a significant portal. So more like an energy update rather than a soul path reading, but take it as it resonates for you. I feel like we're going to end here, a little bit of a shorter reading, but I did want to just tune into the energies and see what messages need to come out today. I'm going to be focusing on these client readings and some other stuff in my life, so we'll be back as we're called to. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your compassion, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Sending you all so much love and so much light.